Hello, my dear listeners. My name is Kishore Ganesh, and in this episode of the Vocal About Visuals podcast, I'll be reviewing Ticket to Paradise, starring Julia Roberts, George Clooney, Kaitlyn Dever, Lucas Bravo, Billy Lord, and others. Just thinking about Ticket to Paradise brings about a warm, fuzzy feeling in me. It's two bona fide global superstars in the form of George Clooney and Julia Roberts looking gorgeous and living out their life in Bali, Indonesia. You actually didn't need to tell me any more to make me watch the movie. But hey, I'm not everybody. Maybe you guys need more reasons than that to watch this film. So hopefully, my thoughts will help you make that decision. So here goes. Ticket to Paradise is essentially a rom-com in a long-winded, age-appropriate way. Instead of two young people falling in love after they do that whole will they won't they dance, which us, the audience, not just fall for, but crave for every single time anyone says rom-com, we have two old yet gorgeous parents who we kinda know are gonna take part in this dance, but to the credit of this film, it is not very obvious. Not obvious from the point of view that we find ourselves in times that are more cynical, that want more quote-unquote real endings, that want to do different things with every genre out there. So maybe the lead pair finding each other at the end of the movie could prove to be a bit too conventional for this kind of thinking. Of course, this could be one of the reasons. The other could be tackling that age-old problem of how do I make a rom-com interesting after all this time and all these films. Whatever the reason, while watching this film, I was not sure if George Clooney and Julia Roberts will end up together at the end of it. Saying that out loud does make me sound dumb to myself. I mean, how could they not, bruh? But hey, while watching the film, I really didn't know, or maybe put in another way, the way the movie was going, it didn't allow me to focus on this question, and that's to the film's credit. And the film achieves this by introducing another far more sorted couple in the form of Clooney and Roberts' daughter and her Indonesian fiance. And by setting this film in Bali, the film is not just set in Bali, a lot of work has been put in by the makers to research Balinese culture and incorporate it into the story. And how better to integrate a culture into your narrative than a wedding? So when you have so many things to focus on in the form of a beautiful interracial and intercultural wedding, parents who are supportive of this union versus parents who are apprehensive about it, the interpersonal quabbles of George and Julia, and not to mention the beauty of Bali itself, or should I say Australia. Apparently the film was shot in Australia even if it is set in Bali. And yes, coming back to the film, with this film offering so much, all in the guise of a rom-com, of course I didn't focus on whether the lead pair are going to end up together. And when you reach the end of the film, you will see how much and how long even the makers wanted to sustain that question. On the whole, Ticket to Paradise is a lot of fun to be had. The kind of fun that is light and breezy as though you are indeed vacationing on the beautiful coasts of Bali. And in that sense, this film does what films are fundamentally supposed to do: entertain, and perhaps more importantly, offer some well-deserved escapism for us, the audience, for the price of a ticket from the comfort of our movie theater seats. Once again, my name is Kishore Ganesh. This is the Vocal About Visuals podcast, and thank you, my dear listeners, for your time and for listening. Please do give this podcast a follow on your preferred podcast platforms and on YouTube. Follow me on Twitter at Podcast Plural for more details about upcoming episodes and general chit chat that I do about films and popular culture. Thank you.